Dancer's very restless. Worship Dancer. Anton Marcus on the side of the gate there. Anton Marcus getting back in the irons. Worship Dancer, gate 1. They're set and they're racing away, and some magic began very awkwardly. Chanticleer and Boys Drive way out of his zone. Boys Drive not travelling, he's already a dozen off them. Bob the Dog, the first one to respond. Windy Express is moving around runners. Teppanyaki's in the yellow silks with the black cap. Favourite backers have Worship Dancer at the fence. Pink sleeves with a green cap. Fatso, red sleeves and cap between them. On the outside, Windy Express just ahead of them. Green Doors the grey. And Racers 3 lengths off them with the blinkers on. In the trenches gets reminders. Mukherjee's on the outside. Chanticleer, Heptagon. They're racing about 8-9 lengths off them. Boys Drive. Bob the Dog has the call. Teppanyaki's on the outside. Fatso. Reminders for the favourite, Worship Dancer. A little bit green, seemed to drop the bits at the inside. Windy Express to the outside. Green Doors coming forward, 2 lengths to make up. Heptagon's going to look for a way through. Bob the Dog, Teppanyaki, Worship Dancer. Fatso's along the inside, travelling well between them. Green Door on the outside. Teppanyaki hits the front. Boys Drive running on from the back end of the field. Teppanyaki 200 to go. Boys Drive on the outside. Bob the Dog, Mukherjee's running on. Boys Drive is now lifting from an hopeless position. Boys Drive now erupting through to win it. Boys Drive, Mukherjee second, Teppanyaki in the trenches further back, Heptagon. And for Boys Drive, well, certainly put it together, that 300 to finish. Well, if you watched Boys Drive go down to the gate, it was the exact fashion he went down first time out. We heard from Dean Kannemeyer that he is a rig, so he doesn't give you much confidence on the way down to the gate. And when the gate opened, he was just flat-footed. He didn't want to gallop the first furlong. But boy, oh boy, 400 to finish. Boys Drive, the Argentinian import, he certainly makes it up. In second, Mukherjee. And the runners are making up the ground from way off the gallop today. Teppanyaki then came in the trenches. Heptagon, Green Door further back. Fatso, Worship Dancer came under an early drive around the turn. 300 to go, and all on his lonesome on the right-hand side as Boys Drive. Still got 5-6 lengths to make up. At that stage was going nowhere, but 2-3 strides later, all of a sudden, as soon as Mukherjee joins him, he seems to have a race on his hands, and he certainly responds in fine style. Boys Drive, listen to this interview from Kevin Shea. You'll get a better indication, and probably when the gates open, if you back Boys Drive, you were tearing up your tickets, but that last 300 meters certainly rejuvenated. And number 8, Boys Drive, he's come out the pack, he's pulled it out the fire, and he's taken race number 3 for the Dean Kannemeyer stable. Back to the studio.
Well, from last to first, number 8, Boys Drive, the Argentinian import for Field Spring Racing, colors synonymous with horse racing, and of course big supporters of the Dean Kannemeyer stable. Well done to everybody concerned, and jockey Kevin Shea riding an absolute pearler here. I think this is where experience comes into the saddle. And I must say a big thank you to Dean Kannemeyer. I had a quick word with him before he left the parade ring. And Dean, you mentioned he's a rig, and you were very eagerly anticipating how he's going to go down to post. And when you saw him go down, what were your thoughts?
Well, you know, he didn't go down well. I could see he was holding back. I could see where his head was. Actually a bit better than last time. So it looks like he's not exactly pushing correctly from behind. That's what can happen with the rig, because the testicle will be sitting in the canal. And you see when he left the machine today with Carl, or with Kevin, he did the same thing with Carl last time. You see, come not comfortable in the first part of the race, and then comes into the straight, and then he flattens out. So yeah, he's got ability, loads of ability, but there are issues, and I will be speaking to Field Spring Racing just now. I know they're flying back from France to London. I think they've missed the race, but nevertheless, well done to them. As you know, as I say, they have always been great supporters of racing in South Africa. I won the July Handicap for them twice.
Sure.
You know, Great Lost Dynasty and I, the Tiger. I'm using this a bit of a marketing.
No, good.
Nevertheless, good. Anyway, and thanks to Kevin and you know, Sam. Corin Newsom, Sam was in South Africa last year and liked horse at the sales, and said to Jean Malab and myself, go ahead and buy him. So, you know, and he's a half brother to the champion Blue Ridge Mountain.
Yes.
And so he's extremely well bred in his size, a magnificent horse. I saw him in Argentina when he came to Abalanga, magnificent horse. But I think ability, but we'll have to deal with these issues and sort it out.
Talking about his issues now, you know, the most that I got when you walked out of the ring, you said he certainly improved back home, and that gave me a lot of confidence. If he was going to be in the race, wherever he was going to position, he was going to be running on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, he sprinted up well 2 days ago. I was in Johannesburg and Albie going. My assistant sprinted him up, and good luck to Albie, well under the team while I've been away. And he said he sprinted up well. But you've always, sometimes, you know, they can move well one day, and the next day they can be a little bit short because it could be pinching them in the canal. So it was a fair run first time out, and but I think we've big room for improvement, and he'll go over more ground too.
I don't see Kevin back, so we got a bit of time. Hearty congratulations with the Equus Awards. You'll take that?
Yeah, I'm thrilled for the owners, and everyone, you know, keeps everybody in business, and it's great. You know, they breed so many horses a year in South Africa, and you know, down at the Cape Awards and yeah, the Equus Awards were nominated for 3 categories. You know, Champion, Hot Tick, and Cape Town Noah Older Mile, and Horse Africa Burns. So I've got to say that. I don't do this all on my own. You know, I've got to say I've got a good team around me,
Sure.
and all my owners and supporters, and I must have a big thanks to my bloodstock agent, Jean Malaba from Bloodstock. I said to Jean, you know, we've got 3 categories. We must have some idea what we're doing.
100% now.
But we'll keep our feet on the ground.
Before you leave us, what's the plan for Dean Kaname and KZN? Not that we want you to leave, but when does your string go down to Cape Town? Have they left already? Are you leaving some horses behind?
All my horses are still here. I'm here till the end of August, and at Cape Town, you know, vaccinated horses in Cape Town. So I'm not racing in Cape Town at the moment because of African horse sickness vaccines. I'll take the horses back to Cape Town at the end of August. I've still got some unraced horses, probably racing next week here at Greyville. I love racing at Durban. It's been a better season than I expected. But the good news, and maybe a little bit of bad news for the other people, but I've reapplied for boxes in Durban. You know, it's 2 years ago. We had unfortunately closed the satellite yard down, and there were restrictions, and hopefully that it'll be a favourable answer. And I'm trying to come back to Durban and to race here in the off season, and try and expand the business over here in Durban. I love the place. I love racing in the off season. I love racing in Durban. It's a great place to race. The climate's great, and you've got to have the horses. But those are my plans, and I'll hear from the board if it's going to be a positive answer or not.
Well, we wish you all the best with that application, and from our side, Dean, we wish you all the best for the rest of the season.
Dees, thank you very much.
Lovely. Dean Kaname, always a pleasure on and off air, and he's come through here with number 8, Boys Drive. A masterful ride by Kevin Shea from last to first, as I mentioned. And when this horse gets his mind on the job, he could turn out to be a serious racehorse. 8, 11, 1 and 10, your provisional result. Race number 3. Coming up next, carryover pick 6 time. Race number 4, time to jot down, 1400 hours. 2 o'clock, estimated pool 1.7 million, carryover 283,000.